I think maybe because I've been so thoroughly brainwashed by my Zen practice over all these decades, I don't think of my poems as something more or less than my washing the dishes. Because you're right, everything that we are and everything that we do in every moment of our lives, we are expressing our practice. So there's no privileging of what we call, creative practice or art. There's no privileging of art over anything else. And that is very liberating, I think, if you're an artist, because then you don't, because, you can think, oh, look how special I am. I make these wonderful art objects, and I'm not an ordinary person. But no, one's life is an art. You could say that's one thing that's so fantastic about this thought in Zen, is that life is an art. To live, to be alive, is to be creating art in every moment of your life. Life is nothing. You don't need the word art. It's extra. And I feel that way about my poems. I don't feel like it's more important that I produce a poem than anything else I do. It's just one of the things that I do along with other things. So yeah, maybe Sue wants to add to that.
Well, I think there's traps there because, not in what you said. In practicing art, it's hard to have that attitude because now there's a name attached to who made this, who directed this film, who painted this, and whose books are selling better than who else's books. And there's a kind of almost inevitable part of the ego that gets attached to what we create. It's not inevitable. We can do it. We can get beyond that. But I think there's a contrast of when you think of religious art like Thangka paintings or mandalas, sand mandalas, or icon paintings in ancient times, that some of these arts that were really spiritual arts were done namelessly. There wasn't a person attached to the authorship of it, and Tibetan monks don't sign their sand mandalas, and maybe they do now with the Thangka paintings. I don't know. That's an incredible skill that people learn, but I have the sense that these things are offered as spiritual creations that belong to the whole Sangha in a way that, and we can offer, I feel like you are offering your work to the world in that same spirit. I just think it's something we get to work with, and as modern people who are making things, to try and keep making things in the spirit of a cook, cooking a recipe and offering it, and you don't sign your name to the loaf of bread. So can we really create in that way? And I think that's a wonderful way to try to practice an art form, and as an offering and as a natural expression of aliveness that happens to come from a particular individual, but that's not the important part of it. And that there's some way in which we're all makers. To be human is to be a maker, and there's a part of us that wants to make things and put things together in some way that delights us and brings joy.